Hello guys and gals, and this is part 5 of the World of Warcraft, the official cookbook by Chelsea Monroe-Cassel. As always, if there is any copyright violation here, simply let me know in the address, in the email address in the description, and I will take it down immediately. I'm just checking real quick to see where we end this one off. Okay. I believe I see now. Okay. And let's see. This is, again, a book by Chelsea Monroe-Cassel, and World of Warcraft is copyright to Blizzard Entertainment and Activision. Now, in the last episode, we did the honey bread, the soft banana bread, and the carp consomme, and the lukewarm yak roast broth. Now, we are ready for the spiced blossom soup, which looks beautiful, by the way. Look at that pretty purple color. Okay, this is an apprentice-level recipe. Prep time is 5 minutes. Cooking time is 20 minutes. It makes 4 servings, and it pairs well with blue cheese Mulgore spice bread, which was last episode. So, episode 4. Anyways, let's see. This restorative and fragrant soup is imbued with a multitude of floral flavors and spices, found only in the ancient cache of the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. This delicious meal is sure to restore the body and mind of even the most exhausted warrior. What you need are 8 cups of chicken broth, 12 chamomile tea bags, 1 bay leaf, 1 teaspoon of ancient Pandaren spices, which is episode 1 or on page 17. 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 1 to 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1 to 2 shallots sliced thin, 1 tablespoon of grated ginger, 1 cup broccoli florets, and 1/2 small purple cabbages. Or half of a small purple cabbage, rather. Chamomile flowers for garnish. Okay. In a medium saucepan, bring the chicken broth to a simmer, add the tea bags and the bay leaf, and allow to simmer for around 5 to 10 minutes. Pull the tea bags out, pressing any remaining liquid from them, and discard. Add the ancient Pandaren spices to the broth and reduce heat to low while you prepare the vegetables. Heat the sesame oil in a frying pan over medium-low heat, and add the garlic, the shallots, and ginger. Cook for about 5 minutes or until everything is soft and fragrant. Add the broccoli and the cabbage, stirring to coat. Oh yeah, you stir it to coat everything. Okay. Then follow with a ladle of broth. Cover and allow to simmer until the vegetables are cooked through about 5 minutes more. Remove from heat and pour everything into the pot. With the broth. Serve immediately. Beautiful. Next we have steaming chicken soup. That's beautiful. Okay. This is a master level recipe. Prep time is 15 minutes. Cooking time is about 2 hours. It makes 4 servings, and it pairs well with conjured manna buns on page 157, which we aren't to yet, and hot herbal tea. Now it says, sometimes when the world outside is a frozen waste, a steaming bowl of chicken soup is just the thing to warm up a cold crusader. Brought to Icecrown by the Argent Crusade to fortify them in their campaign against the Lich King, this soup will ward off all manner of evils. What you need are 2 tablespoons of salted butter, 2 ribs of celery, roughly chopped, 2 large carrots, peeled and roughly chopped, 2 cloves of garlic, minced, 1 tablespoon flour for thickening, 1/2 cup of beer, 8 cups of chicken broth, 1 teaspoon northern spices, see page 20 or episode 1, 4 chicken drumsticks, uncooked, and 1 cup of green peas. They are peas, not beans. Dumplings. You need 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of butter, melted and cooled, 2 tablespoons fresh dill, stemmed and chopped small, and 3/4 cup of milk. Now, what you're going to do is melt the butter in the bottom of a large soup pot over medium heat. Add the celery, carrot, and garlic, cooking until they are soft, about 5 to 10 minutes. Sprinkle the flour over the vegetables and stir to combine for several minutes until the flour starts to brown at the bottom of the pan. Pour in the beer, scraping up all the bits of the butter mixture, and simmer for 5 minutes. Increase the heat to medium-high and add the broth, the northern spices, and the drumsticks. Cover and simmer for about an hour. Add an hour and a half, or until the meat is starting to fall off the bones. While the soup is cooking, prepare the dumpling dough. Combine the flour, baking powder, and salt in a medium bowl. Rub or cut in the butter, then the dill, tossing to distribute evenly. Gradually add milk until the mixture comes together in a wet mass. Cover until ready to make. Once the soup is done, move the drumsticks to bowls for serving and keep warm. Scoop out the dumpling dough in pieces roughly the size of golf balls. Drop the dumplings into the top of the still simmering soup and cover the pot, allowing the dumplings to cook for about 10 minutes. Then check one to see if the inside is cooked through. If not, flip all the dumplings and cook another 5 minutes. To serve, scoop the dumplings into a bowl along with the drumsticks. Ladle the soup over the top and enjoy. Cook's notes: if you're not a fan of dill, just about any other fresh herb will work, such as thyme or rosemary. That has been steaming chicken soup. Steaming goat noodles. This ought to be good. Okay. Oh, that's a pandarin. Let's see. Steaming goat noodles. This is an expert level recipe. Prep time is 30 minutes. Cooking time is 15 minutes. It makes 4 servings, and it pairs well with fresh edamame or sparkling white wine. This flavorful kunlai style noodle soup is made from mutton and goat milk. As Brother Noodle says, steam goat noodle, number 1. Come to a belly with noodle. Yes, very good. Yeah, I always loved him. Brother Noodle. Okay, what you need is 6 to 7 ounces of buckwheat soba noodles, 2 tablespoons peanut oil, 2 to 3 garlic cloves minced, 1 pound mutton or lamb cut into bite-sized pieces, 1 tablespoon real curry paste, 1/2 teaspoon turmeric, 1 cup goat milk, 1/3 cup peanut butter. Oh, what's that? Peanut butter. That's good. 2.5 cups of beef or chicken broth, 1 teaspoon brown sugar, 1 cup canned sliced bamboo shoots, juice of half a lime, red pepper flakes to taste, 1 to 2 tablespoons parsley leaves minced, and 3 to 4 green onions sliced for garnish. Now, it says, begin by cooking the noodles according to their direction, draining and rinsing when they are just slightly overdone. Set aside. Heat the peanut oil over medium heat in a large frying pan with tall sides. Add the garlic and fry until softened and fragrant, but not brown. Add the mutton and sear on all sides about 3 to 4 minutes. Stir in the curry paste and turmeric, followed by the goat's milk and peanut butter, and mix until smooth. Slowly pour in the broth, then add the brown sugar and bamboo shoots and cook another 5 to 10 minutes. Stir in the lime, red pepper, and parsley, then remove from heat. Divide the noodles between serving bowls. Pour the sauce and mutton over the noodles. Then top with green onions and an extra shake of red pepper for garnish. Serve immediately. That's beautiful. Okay, that was steaming goat noodle. Now, Westfall Stew. This is an expert level recipe with a 30-minute prep time. You cook it about 3.5 hours. It makes 4 servings. That pairs well with a hunk of hearty bread, red wine, and sharp cheeses. This nourishing stew has been made many different ways over the years. In lean times, with the people of Westfall under attack by bandits and knoll raiders, murloc eyes, and buzzard meat were commonly used. We wouldn't recommend it. It says you need 2 pounds of quality stew beef cut into bite-sized pieces, salt and pepper, 1/2 cup of diced bacon, 2 tablespoons butter divided, 1 pound button mushrooms sliced, 1.5 cups peeled pearl onions, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 1/4 cup flour, 4 cups of beef broth, 2 cups of red wine, 1 teaspoon of northern spices in episode 1 or on page 20, 6 carrots peeled and cut into bite-sized pieces, 1 garlic head, 1 garlic head, cloves separated and peeled, 1 cup pearled barley, 2 bay leaves rather, and 1 tablespoon minced fresh parsley. Ooh, good, I love parsley. Okay. Preheat the oven to 475 degrees Fahrenheit and toss the beef with the salt and allow it to sit at room temperature for 30 minutes. Scatter the bacon in a 9 by 12 inch baking pan with tall sides, along with 1 tablespoon butter, and cook for about 15 minutes until the fat is rendered out. While the bacon is cooking, toss the mushrooms and pearl onions with the tablespoon of remaining butter and the brown sugar and spread out on a baking sheet. Cook this for about 15 minutes until the liquid released by the mushrooms has mostly evaporated and the onions are slightly glazed. Remove to a bowl and set aside until the stew is nearly finished. Reduce the temperature to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Gradually add the flour to the hot pan with the bacon and bacon fat, whisking until there is no flour visible. Gradually whisk in the broth, half the red wine, and the spices. Layer the carrots, garlic, barley, and bay leaves in the pan with the broth. Then lay the stew meat over the top of that. Pour in enough water to come most of the way up the meat, but not over it, but not cover it. Cook for 1.5 to 2 hours, then stir. Cook for another hour, stir, then add the remaining wine and the reserved onions and mushrooms. Cook for a final 30 minutes, then remove from oven. Discard the bay leaves, dish into serving bowls, and sprinkle with parsley. That is a beautiful stew, by the way. That's beautiful. Wild ginseng soup. Wildfowl ginseng soup. We have here a master level recipe. Prep time is 15 minutes. Cooking time is 30 minutes. And makes 4 servings. That pairs well with red bean buns on page 85. And I believe those were last episode as well. Episode 4. This aromatic broth, rich with hearty noodles and topped with juicy duck meat, is lent a peppery bite by the garlic and chili, with just enough complexity to transcend rustic. This Valley of the Four Winds specialty is a warm and satisfying meal. And what you need is 8 cups of chicken broth, 1 inch piece, 1 inch piece of ginger diced fine, 2 to 3 whole star anise, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon red pepper flakes or Thai peppers to taste, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 2 whole duck breasts, 2 cloves of garlic minced, several handfuls of baby spinach or baby bok choy cut into thin slivers, 1 10-ounce package of dried egg noodles. Now, we're going to take a look at that. That's beautiful, by the way. In a large saucepan, combine the chicken broth, ginger, anise, soy sauce, salt, and red pepper flakes. Simmer this mixture for about 15 minutes, then remove the anise and turn down to low. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Add the vegetable oil to an oven-safe skillet over medium heat. Then, when the oil starts to shimmer, add the duck breast. Skin side down. Be careful of oil splatters. Sear the breast for about 5 minutes and flip the breast and put the pan in the oven. Roast for another 8 to 10 minutes, then remove from the oven, transfer to a cutting board, and allow to sit until you are ready to serve. Return the skillet with the duck's cooking oil to a burner over medium-low heat. Add the garlic and cook until it is fragrant but not brown. Turn off the heat and stir the baby spinach into hot oil until it wilts. Set aside. In a large pot, bring water to a boil and cook the noodles according to their instruction. When done, drain and toss with the garlic oil and the greens to keep from sticking together. Add all of this to the broth. To serve, slice the duck breast into bite-sized pieces. Ladle the noodles and broth equally into 4 bowls. Then top with the pieces of duck breast. That's beautiful. And I think that the last one in this category is Yuping soup. And that's beautiful too, by the way. Beautiful. This is an apprentice recipe. Prep time is 10 minutes. Cooking time is 30 minutes. It makes 4 large servings, and it pairs well with warm sake. Now, this fish apple soup may sound like an acquired taste, but we assure you it is a delectable and filling meal after a nice long hike through the lush green mountains of Pandaria. A word of warning, though: never touch a hosen's Yuping soup. That's true. Hosen are kind of wild. Okay. What you'll need is 8 cups chicken broth, 1 cup apple cider, 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon fresh grated ginger, 1/2 cup barley, 2 carrots peeled and chopped, 1 parsnip peeled and chopped, about 1/2 cup cooked chicken meat, optional, 6 dried dates, halved, 6 dried figs, halved, 2 apples peeled, cored, and cut into eighths, 2 tablespoons of goji berries, 1 pound white fish cut into small chunks, and 1 tablespoon ancient Pandaren spices. See page 17 or episode 1 of this series in the playlist. Combine the broth, cider, vinegar, ginger, barley, and vegetables into a medium pot. Bring to a simmer and cook for about 20 minutes or until the veggies have begun to soften. Add remaining ingredients, cook for another 10 minutes until the fish is cooked through, then remove from heat. Serve hot straight away. Cook's notes. While this soup is still flavorful, the next day many of the ingredients will not hold their shape, so it is best to enjoy it the same day. That's beautiful. Up next we have mains, the way of the entree. And we have the beer-basted boar ribs, the crunchy spider surprise, Dirge's Kickin Chimaerok chops, Firecracker Salmon, Forest Strider drumstick, Gracu's homemade meat pie, Iron Forge rations, Ogre Law chicken fingers, roasted quail, savory deviant delight, skewered peanut chicken, slow roasted turkey, tender shovel tusk steak, and winter veal roast. We are only going to do up to the meat pie here in this episode. But there's a preview. And let's get started with the beer-basted boar ribs. And I remember these. This is an apprentice-level recipe. Prep time is 30 minutes. Cooking time is 3 hours. It makes 4 servings depending on appetite for ribs. And it pairs well with the bean soup on page 93. And it also pairs well with beer. Okay, the secret's in the malt. Ragnar Thunderbrew has been drawing patrons to his tavern for decades with the savory smell of his famous ribs. Now the old Thunderbrew family recipe for the best ribs in the Eastern Kingdoms is available to all. What you'll need is 1 3-pound rack of pork spare ribs or boar ribs, if available. Salt and pepper to taste, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 shallots diced, 1 clove of garlic minced, 2 teaspoons red curry paste, 1 cup of ketchup, 1 bottle of beer. Rhapsody malt is the best, but substitute in a pinch. The less hoppy, the better. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of molasses, and 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to preheat your oven to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Line a rimmed baking sheet, with aluminum foil and set a rack over the top. Place the ribs on the rack, meaty side up, and sprinkle liberally with salt and pepper. Place in the oven and start slow cooking. Place a saucepan over medium heat and add the oil, shallots, and garlic. Cook until the shallots are soft and the garlic is fragrant, 3 to 5 minutes. Stir in the curry paste to coat the shallots and garlic, and add the remaining ingredients. Cook for 20 to 30 minutes, stirring occasionally until the mixture has reduced to a semi-thick sauce. For a smoother sauce, blend the mixture with a submersible blender until no pieces of shallots or garlic remain. The ribs will slow cook for about 3 hours. Baste with the sauce every 20 to 30 minutes or so. Cover the underside a few times too, until you've got a nice thick layer of tangy, delicious sauce. Allow it to cool slightly after cooking and enjoy. And those are delicious looking. Next we have Crunchy Spider Surprise. It says that this is a master level recipe. Prep time is 5 minutes. Frying time is 30 minutes, and it makes about a dozen balls. Pairs well with hoisin dipping sauce and Wildfowl ginseng soup, which we just covered a couple recipes back. The surprise comes when you look with the look of delicious satisfaction. Happy customers ask you what it is, but seriously, one should only use spider meat when there is absolutely no better option. So this recipe substitutes crab to get the same culinary crunch with less ew factor. Designed by the master chef tasked with feeding blood elf royalty on a budget, this recipe will surprise and delight those with even the most discerning palates. What you need is 1 egg separated, about 8 ounces of wonton wrappers, 1 pound of crab meat or imitation crab, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon sugar, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, a pinch each of red and black peppers, and oil for frying. And what you're going to do is, in a small bowl, beat the egg whites with a splash of water for a few seconds. Set aside. Slice the wonton wrappers into very thin strips and set those aside as well. Combine the crab meat, salt, sugar, cornstarch, egg yolk, and seasoning in a food processor and blend until completely mixed. Bring about 2 inches of oil to a medium heat in a small saucepan. Scoop out small portions of the crab mixture, and form into balls roughly 2 inches across. Dip each ball into the beaten egg and then into the sliced wonton strips, taking care to cover the whole ball and squeezing gently to secure the strips in place. Lower each wrapped ball into the hot oil and cook for several minutes on each side until the wonton strips are crispy and the insides are cooked. And that's them right there. Dirge's Kickin Chimaerok chops. This is a master level recipe. Prep time 10 minutes. Marinating takes 8 hours or overnight, and cooking takes 10 to 15 minutes. It makes 2 servings, and it pairs well with couscous or rice. Since it's no longer possible to get Chimaerok tenderloins after the sinking of the Isle of Dread, they're making do with lamb chops. Do not disturb Prince Lakma, last of his kind. He's the one Chimaerok left in Azeroth, and my friend simply cannot catch a break with all of you chasing after his legendary savory haunches. Lamb chops are a fine substitute. Trust me. Okay. What you need is 1 tablespoon of red curry paste. Excuse me. That's right, it looks like real. Okay, so you need 1 tablespoon of red curry paste, 1/4 cup rum or bourbon, 1/2 cup chicken broth, 1 pound lamb shoulder chops, and for the spice rub, you will need 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of Aleppo pepper flakes or other red pepper flakes, 1/2 teaspoon each of nutmeg and cinnamon, a pinch of salt, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Oh, Popeye! Oh, here, never mind. Combine the red curry paste, rum, and chicken broth in an airtight bag or a shallow baking dish. Place the lamb chops in this marinade, making sure to cover both sides of the meat and let sit for around 8 hours or overnight. When you're ready to cook, combine the spices for the rub in a small bowl. Place a large frying pan over medium heat and pour in the olive oil and begin heating it up. Meanwhile, pull the lamb chops out of the bag and set on a plate. Pat dry and press half of the spice mixture onto one side of the meat. Flip and press the remaining spices onto the other chops. Once the pan is hot, lower the chops gently, cooking on each side for about 4 to 5 minutes until the lamb is cooked through to your preference. Remove from the pan and allow to rest for about 5 minutes under a tint of foil to keep it warm. If you like, you can make a small amount of the sauce by pouring the rest of the marinade into an emptied pan and scraping to get up any spices that you have cooked down. Stir for a few minutes until the mixture has thickened somewhat, then strain into a small pitcher and serve alongside the chops. Okay. Next is Firecracker Salmon. I think that's a Ginyu. I think that's with the fish people. Firecracker Salmon. This is an apprentice-level recipe. Prep time is 1 hour. Cooking time is 10 minutes. It makes 2 servings. It pairs well with wild rice cakes, page 61, and sautéed green beans or asparagus. The warmth of the spices battle for dominance with the cool bite of the juniper, like the meeting of the cold glacier salmon and the fiery oven. Northwind food has never tasted so good. Okay, what you need is 2 4-ounce salmon fillets, 1/4 cup sesame or vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 2 tablespoons balsamic vinegar, 2 teaspoons brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon sriracha sauce, 1/2 teaspoon northern spices, see page 20 or episode 1, and 1/2 teaspoon ground ginger. Combine all the ingredients in a Ziploc bag and marinate the salmon in the mixture for at least an hour or overnight in the fridge. While the salmon is marinating, line a small-edged baking sheet with aluminum foil. When you're ready to cook, turn the oven to a high broil and place the salmon skin side down on the foil. Slide under the broiler and cook for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the thickness of the fillets. When the fish flakes easily with a fork and is pale pink color, it is done. Serve immediately. And that's it right there. That's beautiful. Next we have Forest Strider Drumsticks. And we are almost done here. This is an apprentice-level recipe. Prep time is 10 minutes. Cooking time is about an hour, and it makes 4 legs. It serves well with root beer, float, spicy vegetable chips on page 55. And I don't remember what episode that's from, but it was like 2 episodes back. These drumsticks, they're huge. There's nothing quite like Forest Strider Drumsticks to power you through a full round of the games and exotic delights. Full round of the games and exotic delights offered at the Dark Moon Fair. That's right, Dark Moon Fair. Okay, what you need is 4 whole turkey legs, about 1 pound each, 2 teaspoons of coarse salt, smoked is best, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander seed, 1 teaspoon of dried marjoram, 1/2 teaspoon each paprika and black pepper, and 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking sheet with foil. Rinse the turkey legs and pat them dry. Mix together all the dry ingredients for the rub. Lightly brush the turkey legs with balsamic vinegar and apply the rub to each leg, pressing into the skin, and place the legs on a prepared baking sheet. Bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes, then reduce the heat to 350 and cook another 30 minutes or so until the skin is dark brown and the internal temperature has reached 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is for a striped drumstick. And we are to our last one, at least in this episode. We have Gracu's homemade meat pie. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like shepherd's pie, kind of. It's beautiful. Anyways, what we have here is a master level recipe. Prep time is 1 hour. Baking time is 45 minutes. Cooling time is 30 minutes, and it makes one pie. It pairs well with mashed potatoes, dark beer, and Gracu's mincemeat fruitcake on page 173, which we haven't got to yet. Smoky Wood Pastures brings all the best flavors of the holiday season to a market near you. Nothing will warm you to the bone during the Feast of Winter Veil like a slice of this delicious meaty pie. What you'll need is 1 batch of flaky pie dough, page 22. I think that is episode 2. 1 tablespoon butter, divided plus more as needed. 1 large leek, roughly chopped. 3 cloves of garlic, minced. 2 carrots, peeled and chopped. 2 sticks of celery, chopped. 1 pound of stew beef, cut into bite-sized pieces. 1/2 pound of sausage, cut into bite-sized pieces. 1 pound of ground beef or pork. 3 tablespoons of flour. 1/2 tablespoon, 1 each teaspoon each, minced fresh thyme and rosemary. 1/2 teaspoon each salt and pepper. 1 cup dark beer. 1 cup beef stock. 1 cup peas, and 1 egg beaten with 1 teaspoon water for glaze. Make the flaky pie dough ahead of time and chill it while you prepare the pie filling. Heat half the butter in a large frying pan over medium heat. Add in the leek and garlic and cook for a few minutes until the leeks are just starting to soften. Add the carrots and celery next, cooking for another 5 minutes or so until the vegetables have begun to soften. Remove from heat and transfer to a separate pot large enough to hold all the pie filling. Melt the remaining butter in the same frying pan, then add the stew beef. Turn the meat occasionally so as it is browned on all sides. Then scoop the beef to the same pot as the vegetables, leaving the butter and any fat in the pan. Cook the sausage and likewise add to the pot. Finally, brown the ground meat in the same pan. When it is fully cooked, reduce heat to a medium-low and drain off any excess fat. Then sprinkle the meat with flour, stirring to coat. Pour in the beer and stir until the liquid thickens somewhat. Remove from heat and add to the other pot. Add all remaining ingredients except the peas and cook over medium heat for 30 to 40 minutes until the liquid has reduced somewhat. Transfer to a large bowl and allow to cool completely. Oh, here. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Okay, now preheat oven to 375 degrees, then roll out the larger piece of pie dough to a roughly round shape. Drape this over your pie dish, letting the extra hang over the side. Add the peas to the filling mixture, then carefully spoon the meats and vegetables into the pie shell, heaping them up in the middle and drizzling a little of the liquid over the top of everything. Cover with another piece of rolled out dough. Trim and crimp the edges and use the trimmings to decorate if you wish. Brush with beaten egg and bake for 45 minutes until the top crust is golden. Allow to cool for at least 30 minutes before slicing. Cook's notes. The type of meats you use in this recipe is very adaptable, although the ratios should stay roughly the same: 1 pound cubed meat to 1 pound ground meat and 1/2 pound sausage. And in the next episode, we are going to go over Iron Forge rations. And this has been a reading from World of Warcraft, the official cookbook by Chelsea Monroe-Cassel. World of Warcraft is copyright to Blizzard Entertainment and Activision. And so yeah, if you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way whatsoever, all the information is in the description below, along with any disputes with copyright information. There's an email address there. You can send me that, and I will take the video down if it bothers anybody. That being said, I appreciate all the support, and thank you everyone for watching, and have a great day.